on, everybody? This is your boy James from What's Your Forte, and today we're going to be installing this Carismo custom wheel on my F10 M5. All right, let's get to it. All right, everyone, so this is the Carismo wheel that I have selected for my F10 M5. My current wheel is kind of beat up. The car is 10 years old, so I get it. So Carismo actually saw my post, reached out, and was like, hey man, we got to get you a new wheel. I said, bet, let's do it. So this is the wheel that I chose. This is a little bit different from the typical wheel. As the OGs know, this is my third Carismo wheel. I usually go with the carbon and all that, but I ended up doing something different on this wheel. So let's go ahead and get to it. All right, everyone, so let's go ahead and show you guys the wheel that I got. So I love the fact that Carismo always sends you this nice wrap with the wheels in, and they also include great packaging. So I always appreciate that. But let's show you the wheel that I selected. So I think this is going to go good with my interior that I currently have. And the interior on the F10 M5, the one that I have, doesn't have any carbon or anything, just a classic interior. So I wanted to go with kind of a classic, almost OEM type plus wheel. So I know I usually go with the hexagon kind of angled top. This time I went with a more round top to stick with that OEM plus vibe. But I did still go with the flat bottom. All right, so still get the flat bottom, but I'm still going with the traditional curved top. Went with the M stitching, so you guys can see that right there. Looks really nice. Then we got the perforated leather grips, which is always my favorite. I know some people like do Alcantara. My hands sweat a lot, so I was like, I never really do Alcantara. Maybe one day I'll do Alcantara, or maybe if it's like a second car, I may do Alcantara, but perforated leather usually gets the job done for me, so I usually stick there. And then, as you guys saw, flat bottom looks really good. You can kind of see that's the way it'll fit in my hands. Looks really good, feels good. And this install should be pretty straightforward, man. I've done a couple steering wheels, so I may not be super detailed on this, but I will give you the basic steps. If you're looking for something super detailed, I'll definitely have a couple of my other steering wheel installs linked below. But yeah, man, so let's go ahead and get the steering wheel off of the F10 and get this bad boy installed. Let's get it. All right, everyone, so the first thing what I always recommend people doing is that you have to unplug the battery, because you don't want the airbag to kind of blow up in your face. So you want to make sure you get the steering wheel in a position that makes sense for you. So you got to make sure you'll be able to sit in your chair and then also be able to access the steering wheel in a comfortable position. So I always say cut the car on, get the steering wheel straight, and then get the steering wheel in a position that's good for you. Then what you want to do, turn the car off, get to your trunk, find the battery, and unplug the battery. Because you do need to power it off, because like I said, you don't want the airbag to blow up in your face while you're doing this, all right? So I'm gonna go ahead and do that, and I'll be back once I'm ready for the next step. All right, so we have the battery unplugged, so I'm ready for the next step. So depending on what model of BMW you have, the steering wheel install is pretty much the same, but you will need either a flathead or a Phillips screwdriver, and you want to get the longest one you have, right? So there are going to be two guide holes on both sides of the steering wheel, usually around this area. If you have the F series like I do, their holes are already there. I remember on my F90 and on my G80, there's like little indentions, and you got to poke through the leather to get to the hole. But what you want to do is kind of stick your screwdriver in there, and you got to free and release the airbag. So you kind of have to you'll feel it when it's releasing. You'll push this in there, and then you'll kind of feel the airbag pop out. And you want to do both sides, and then you'll be able to get the airbag out. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that off camera because it's a pain, and yeah, it just sucks. So let me go ahead and do that now, and I'll be back once I'm finished. All right, guys, so I'm back with you. It literally took me 30 seconds. I forgot how easier it is on the F series versus the G series. The F series, they already have the guide holes, so it makes it a lot easier. And on the newer models, they don't have the guide holes, so you kind of have to make it yourself, and it becomes a pain. But I literally did it in 30 seconds. It is easier to use a Phillips screwdriver versus a flathead. The Phillips just has that rounded head, so it can kind of push on it. So then once you get the airbag loose, you kind of have to, you see that plug in there? You want to go ahead and kind of push down on that plug and relieve it. So you kind of just want to get in here with something to push down on it and then you see how it kind of popped out. Boom. You guys saw that in real time, and it pops right out. So that's your airbag, man. So we'll lay this off to the side, and now we're in here. So I kind of show you guys, you can see when you push, so you can kind of see that little paper's in the way. Let me go up from this side. So you see I'm putting it right in there. And when you push in there, you can kind of see it kind of right there. I know it's a little dark, but you can kind of see how it goes into that guide. And when you push that, it releases it right there. So that's kind of what you're looking for, just to kind of give you an idea. So now we're in here. So now we got to get, this is usually like a 16 or whatever. So I'm gonna get my impact, get this off, and then we'll be able to move this steering wheel to my work location and then transfer over everything. All right, let's get to it. All right, everyone. So this bolt was a 16 millimeter, super easy to take out. And then these clips were right here. This clip was right here. So you kind of want to take a pick tool to the top, separate it, get it out. This one, take a pick tool to the side, push in, pull it out. Now, should be able to get the steering wheel off. See if I can grab it off one hand here. Boom, took it right off. So now it's time to transfer all this to the new wheel. All right, everyone, so these are the two wheels right here, side by side. Look at how this wheel just looks, man. Like, it's faded. It's like kind of junky, but yeah, man. So this is the wheel transfer process. So we're just gonna transfer everything from here over to here. The easiest thing to do first is to kind of get the panels and get all this other stuff off, and you just kind of transfer everything over here, man. So if you have never done one of these before, take your time, be patient, try not to break anything, because you definitely can break something if you rush the process, man. So I'm gonna go ahead and do this. Like I said, this video is not gonna be super detailed, but if there's something that I do want to highlight, I will come back and bring it to you guys. All right, so we're gonna go ahead, get this going, man. Yeah, let's get it. All right, so like I said, start with the paddles. There's gonna be, I think this is a T20. There's gonna be T20 screws right in here. You guys can kind of see it right there. T20 screws are gonna be one right here, one right here. Once you release these, you'll be able to access the back of the wheel and also get the panel off. And that's gonna give you the back access screws, access to the back screws. So turn this over. So then now we have the access to the back screw, which is right here. And that will help the next process run a lot smoother. So I always say start with the paddles, get those loose and out the way, and then you can go to the other part, right? So like I said, I'm just gonna be bringing you a couple things, a couple tips and tricks when you're doing this, all right? So let's get it. Also, don't forget the screw at the very back bottom, which is right here. Don't forget that screw too, before you try to peel everything apart, because this is gonna be the final part. It's gonna hold everything together. Then once you get this out, everything else should be pretty easy to pull apart. You can kind of grab it. Like I said, work it slowly off. You don't want to break anything. Be gentle, and then you can slowly get everything off. All right. So you can see kind of how it comes out right there. Boom. Yeah. So yeah, man, that's how you do it. Like I said, I'm gonna go ahead and wipe some of this stuff down, get it all taken care of. But I just want to bring you those helpful tips. All right, everyone, so you can see most of the guts are off this wheel. So these are the guts right here, laying down. So what you want to do, like, there's 3 big screws, 1, 2, 3 T20s that you can take out, which are these bad boys right here. And they kind of hold the base plate and most of the stuff in together. And then you'll have 1 T20 over here as well that you take out. And then you have a spring at the bottom right here that you need to transfer over. And you're pretty much good, man. My wheel does not retain heated steering wheel. You can retain it if you want. Just have to let Carismo know. They can get you one built with heated steering wheel. I don't really care about heated steering wheel, to be honest. Like, my hands are already usually pretty warm. And if they're really cold, I just throw some gloves on. Like, it ain't that big a deal. I'm in North Carolina, I'm in the South. It doesn't really get that cold. So you have that. And then this is right here, like your lane keep and all that, your wheel vibrates. So you do need to pop this out, and then it kind of slides out. So you just have to pry those edges up a little bit. And then you don't want to do too much, but just do it enough where you can clear these little bumpers right here. And then you can get this off. So that's how they get that off. So now this wheel is finito, toast, dunzo. So I'm gonna store this in my garage somewhere, and we're done with this wheel. Now we have all these buttons and guts and whatever you want to call it. And now it's time to transfer all this over to the new wheel. You just kind of want to do opposite of what you had to do to take all this stuff off. Pretty simple. Like I said, take your time. Do not break any clips, because it can happen. I've had steering wheels where I broke clips. I had to reorder new clips and stuff. It is not fun. All right. So definitely take your time and get this stuff installed. All right. So I'm gonna go ahead and install everything, and then I'll come back. Let's get it. All right, everyone, so steering wheel is almost complete. Got the panels on, got all the buttons and everything lined up perfectly. All right, so now we got the face plate, and then we got the back screw. So face plate is gonna go right here. Make sure the holes line up. So there's a screw on this side that has to line up, a screw on that side. We got a little dirt right there, so I'm gonna grab a microfiber cloth, wipe this down, screw this in, and then we'll be ready, man. Look at that, man. This thing looks good, man. Let me zoom out a little bit. Yeah, man. OEM Plus, very nice design, man. So, yeah. Let's go ahead and, let's go ahead and get this all buttoned up and get it put back in the car. See what it looks like. All right. The steering wheel is installed, man. It feels great. It looks right at home inside of this interior, man. The steering wheel looks good. It definitely was much needed, man. The older wheel, the OEM wheel that came with the car was beat up. This is the way to go, man. And I'm really glad I kind of went with the traditional looking wheel with the added flat bottom with the perforated leather. It just fits well with this interior. Not too flashy, but it fits, man. And I'm glad I went with that route. Glad I went this route, man. This is an excellent wheel. Carismo did a really good job. Got it out super quick, super fast shipping. And if you guys are interested in this wheel or any wheels that Carismo may have, they have wheels for almost every type of car, Lamborghinis, Ferraris, Audis, anything. Any vehicle you have, they can get you a wheel. I do have a discount code. I'll be putting that up on the screen somewhere so you guys can take advantage of that, save some money. It does give me a little bit of a kickback, so it helps me produce more content and helps me put out more stuff for them, man. So you save and I get a little bit back, so we all win, man. It's all about making sure everybody eats around here. So super nice wheel, man. I am super happy with this thing, man. So that's gonna be today's video, man. Super quick install. Like I said, I didn't give you every step of the way, but I brought you the major steps, man. And if you ever did any help with something like this, just DM me, hit me up on IG, and I can help you out, man. So yeah, man. Wheel looking really good, man. So that's gonna be today's video, and I'll talk to you guys later. Peace.